Well, my name is Lauren Himes. I'm 21. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska. I kind of grew up in a Christian home. It's kind of hard to say, really. My family had its dysfunctional sides, even though my mom still tried to get us to go to church and stuff. It really all kind of came down when I was actually in the 7th grade. I just started getting hit really hard with depression. I started cutting, just really suicidal. I had what I guess some people would I call it a love deficit. I really didn't know how to receive love. I didn't feel like I was getting loved. So because of that, I really hated life and had no value of it. So I just started looking for, I guess you could say, attention. So got into high school and I ended up going my freshman year, and I actually got arrested. And at this whole time, while this is all going on, I'm still going to church. So I was very much so leading a double lifestyle. So I was pretty much a hypocrite. So I was leading a double lifestyle, and that was when my lives both kind of collided. Because then I had to go to youth pastors and leaders and say hey, I need you to fill out this form for me to help me in court. Pasting on a smile, acted like everything was fine. I went away to a summer camp right before my sophomore year of high school, and that's kind of where I rededicated my life to Christ, and that was in 2007, and it lasted for a few months, and then I went on a trip, actually, and on that trip I started smoking cigarettes, and I just hit rock bottom once again. Depression took over my life, suicide. Just started consuming me. So it led into me, I just started popping a lot of pills throughout high school, towards my junior and senior year. I got hooked on codeine, OxyContin, even to the point where I took NyQuil all the time, where my mom realized and she actually started hiding it from me. At the time, my parents fought a lot, and my mom was just really angry, and my dad had his own stuff going on, and so it's just like I said, I felt like I had this love deficit, and on top of that, I was having body image issues, so I hated my body. I hated myself so much, which is also why it led to not only depression, but a lot of it was suicide, where I just had suicidal thoughts all the time. In terms of suicide, I went over to a friend's house, and she was like, hey, let's drink. My aunt will give us liquor, and we had a really big thing of liquor, and so I thought, I'm just going to keep downing it. And it was about a gallon of vodka. And so I just started downing it. I downed about half of it without even realizing it. So about half of a gallon of vodka, just straight, within the span of about 2 hours. My hopes was hey, I'll get alcohol poisoning. This is how double lifestyle I lived, actually. Next morning I woke up, I had alcohol poisoning. I threw up 14 times in 3 hours. But I also had to be dropped off at my church, because that's where my sister was going to pick me up afterwards. So I go to church puking, and I was sitting on the bathroom floor with one of my best friends. And I remember puking and just telling her I wish it would have killed me. I don't understand why it didn't. I would drink and drive. I would smoke pot and drive. I would do everything. I've almost taken myself off a bridge, hoping that something, because I was too afraid to get a gun and shoot myself. So I thought, if anything, I'm going to destroy my insides as fast as I can. I was fooling around a lot with guys. So on top of being depressed and hating my life, doing drugs, drinking, I was also fooling around with guys. And I was so far from God. I wrote myself off dead by the time I was 20. So I had just given up. And so I actually Googled in cheap Christian colleges in Alaska, and I popped up with a college down in Homer, Alaska. Tuition was cheap. My parents said they would pay for it, and it was my light at the end of the tunnel. So I actually went there in 2009, the fall of 2009, and for the first time ever, I can say that I actually experienced love, because I was honest on my application about last time doing drugs, last time drinking, last time everything. I was like, there's no way I'm getting into this school. And I got in, and the very first day, the dorm parents invited me over for dinner, and they just loved on me, and they knew. Even though, I believed in God growing up, even doing drugs and everything, and I knew I was called into ministry, what I think really was kind of my light at the end of the tunnel, God is real, is I went to go visit the college the summer before I went there, and just standing in the building, I started to cry, because all of a sudden it was I was coming full circle. It's the Lord had seen my years of hardship, and my cry to the Lord was I'm gonna die if you don't get me out of this. I can't make it past this point. and just like everything like had so consumed me. And so that was my light at the end of the tunnel. And the very first night at my college, actually, I went and I sat on the back deck, and it like overlooks the mountains, the bay, it's Alaska, so it's gorgeous. And I sat back there and I just cried because I was like, God, I don't deserve to be here. And for the first time ever, he just told me, he was like, well, you were meant to be here. I actually am now a missionary with YWAM, Youth with a Mission on the East Coast. And I came out here, and like ever since that all has happened, like even though it's been an up down sort of like thing ever since I got my life clean, just the Lord has been so good to me and just showed me like how much he really does love me. And like even though like I don't have the nicest of past and I did a lot of stupid stuff, like he sees that, but he doesn't focus on it. What he like sees over my life now is like I can honestly say is like that I'm his daughter and that he loves me unconditionally.